Welcome back, everybody. We're again high above Frontera Grill in Topolobampo.
Well, not that high.
Well,
I mean, one story.
One story.
Don't make it sound like we're up in the clouds, man.
In the test kitchen.
And we're not high.
No, we are not.
Okay. we have to make sure this is all right. Okay.
All right,
we don't want to make anybody like weird.
We don't want to scare our guests.
Yeah, right.
Who's our guest this week? Chris Pendel.
Chris Pendel.
Chris Pendel
yes.
from the Bristol.
Thank you very much for helping us out.
Soon to be Formentos in Chicago.
Formentos.
And then next year you're going to open another steakhouse.
Armour and Swift.
Armour
yes,
and
sir.
Swift.
Absolutely.
So tell us
You're a busy man.
To be a busy man.
Yeah.
Already a busy man, but to be more.
How do you describe Balena and the Bristol?
The Bristol is kind of a rustic American restaurant. You know, chalkboard menu, very simple farm-to-table food. Balena is kind of an American Italian restaurant that travels the entire country of Italy.
Okay. Do you ever work with cauliflower?
Absolutely.
Guess what? That's our secret ingredient. That's our ingredient challenge this week. Cauliflower. Are you a fan?
I have tried to become a fan of cauliflower for many years, and I have actually tasted a few things that I thought were just amazing made from cauliflower.
Yeah.
But most of the time when I come across cauliflower, it's not my favorite thing.
I gotta say, I like cauliflower. If it's roasted, it's got the beautiful
that's
sweetness that comes out.
Absolutely.
Not obviously plain. But why don't you set up the challenge again? Is typically what it's we start with our
basic ingredient,
one, yep.
5 more things in 15 minutes to turn out a dish. And we do this because we want all of our listeners, all of our viewers, to be able to just go into the kitchen and make something with some fresh seasonal ingredients.
Okay, so you both brought 5 extra ingredients.
5 ingredients.
We're gonna put 15 minutes on the clock.
Yeehaw.
Matt, our producer, is going to set the time. Yes, sir. And begin.
Shall we?
So
okay.
15 minutes to make something that the folks at home could make. This is not going to be some crazy 1,000-year-old balsamic vinegar that you brought, Chris, right?
I don't
it's going to be
know.
relatively
You may have
simple.
done that.
Real tangible food.
Okay, so we're starting with just a head of cauliflower.
Yeah. Okay.
And what are we doing with it?
Well, I am cutting my cauliflower into a couple of cauliflower steaks here.
Oh, geez.
And I'm going to do this thing because you talked about roasting cauliflower and how it brings out sweetness. Grilling cauliflower also brings out sweetness. Now, we don't really have a grill up here, so I'm going to use a grill pan. But I've actually done this with a grill pan, and I think it's really delicious. So to speed things along, my first step is going to be to put this in a microwave for a few minutes just to soften it. It would be sort of like blanching it.
And Chris, I saw you did the same thing. You cut it into a steak and you put some olive oil on?
We're doing
I think we're going down the same path. I see raisins. I've got raisins.
We are thinking in the
Oh
same
my God,
vein.
this is going to be hilarious.
Roasted cauliflower
We didn't
steak.
talk. We didn't
You
talk.
guys did not talk
not at
at
all.
This. No.
Not at all.
Okay.
I don't see any canned chipotles though on Rick's side. That's usually a secret weapon.
That's a good secret weapon to have, call.
Yeah, when they have the Frontera book about like the Frontera secret weapons, the cover is going to be a can of chipotles and adobo.
Chipotles.
Yep.
That's it.
That's his MO, baby. All right, so what are you doing over there,
Smart
Chris?
man. I'm kind of following the same thing Rick is. I'm just cutting the cauliflower into steaks, and then as opposed to blanching and then grilling, I'm just going to sear mine on one side and try to roast it all the way through in 15 minutes or less.
And over here, Rick is now putting in just a little bit of butter into this pan. Yeah, just a little bit. A few tablespoons, maybe?
Actually, what I'm going to do is, because cauliflower to me, like many vegetables, it has no natural richness to it. So I feel like that if you're going to make it taste really good, you have to pair it with something rich. And so I'm going a couple of different directions here. I'm going to brown some butter. I'm going to add some peanuts to it, and then I'm going to soak these raisins in a little tequila for a real nice burst. Add a little Mexican hot sauce, some fresh herbs, and all of that together will become my base for this grilled cauliflower.
And since we're shooting video of this, and by the way, to remind folks, if you're just listening to us, you can watch this video on our Facebook page, The Feed Podcast, also on our YouTube channel, The Feed Podcast. But Chris, what are you doing over there? Interesting technique.
We're basically doing, Rick and I are basically making the same dish.
You are making the same dish. Okay.
This is pretty hilarious.
I took the steaks off the center part, and then I've taken some of the florets and I've just trimmed the very top of them off. And I'm going to use that as a base for a salad to go as a garnish on top of the cauliflower steak itself.
And is the trimming on top just for show, for looks, or is there an actual...
It's for texture.
It's for texture.
Yeah, I'm not going to cook these at all. So So we're going to have a roasted flavor, and we'll have like a nice sweet raw flavor as well.
Okay. Rick is now chopping some peanuts.
I'm chopping peanuts, so where he's getting his texture from the raw cauliflower, I'm getting my texture from peanuts on the top. So it's really hilarious that we are actually going down exactly the same path.
So you just took out some of the cauliflower from the microwave?
That's correct. I just wanted to soften it up a little bit, and I'm going to use some of that brown butter to baste it while it is grilling. And now I'm pouring a little bit of Blanco tequila on some raisins, and I just want to soften them for a little while, and to speed that up I'm also going to use the microwave for that. Just about 30 seconds or so will soften these.
You probably don't realize this. I've noticed this from the first couple of shows we've done together here. This is a frequent technique, and I think it's great for people at home. You constantly put things in bowls, cover them with plastic, a minute in the microwave just to soften them. You've done this several times. I think you did it with fennel and something else maybe, but this is a great tip.
For home cooking, the microwave is really your best friend.
Chris, it looks like you're taking some water out of a pan. What are you doing over there?
I have some salted boiling water over here that I'm dumping into a bowl of golden raisins that I'm going to add some sherry vinegar to.
Sherry vinegar, okay. Again, easy to find sherry vinegar. This is not from Jerez. It's not from a monk who made it over the course of a winter. And okay,
this is readily available.
Readily available sherry vinegar. All right.
I'm so disappointed. It's not from the monk that made it over the winter time.
I don't know where that came from.
I don't either.
Anyway, you have the softened. You got your softened steaks. You're putting them on a grill pan now.
Yeah, and I've got my browned butter here, and I'm just gonna spoon some of this brown butter over it.
That looks good.
Sprinkle it with some salt.
Chris, you're slicing up, looks like onions?
Onions, yeah, these are actually tropea onions, but a red onion is in the same ballpark. So these guys are going to go into the raisins with the sherry vinegar. And then I've also got some florets over here in a little bit of olive oil, just roasting away.
I've got these raisins now soaked with...
and just 30 seconds in the microwave with the raisins?
It's enough, yeah.
That's enough, okay.
It'll plump them up nicely. And basically in that 30 seconds, what you're going to get is the equivalent of an hour of soaking at room temperature. So
great.
You can see how things go so much faster if you use that technique.
Chris, you're tossing up your little salad of tropea onions and
golden raisins, sherry vinegar,
and
then our cauliflower florets are going to go in there as well.
They almost look like queso añejo from here, right? Doesn't it?
It sure does.
It's crumbled cheese,
right?
But it's cauliflower.
But it's cauliflower.
Rick just added some hot sauce to this pan with the peanuts and the raisins. What is it? Which kind?
Well, this is Tomasula.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my go-to of the Mexican hot sauces. It is not made from a fermented mash, so it doesn't have the stinkiness that you would get out of a Tabasco.
5 minutes to go. Looks like these are both coming together pretty well. Chris, you're feeling good over there?
So far, so good.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Rick has just opened up a pretty good mound of, is it flat leaf?
It's flat leaf parsley.
Yep.
That's correct. And I'm going to add that to our butter and peanut and
Just to give it some
raisin
green
mixture. Yeah, because it'll add freshness. In the same way that Chris is using some fresh onion over there for his to add that freshness, I'm going to use this real, I think of it as a pungent flavor. I know a lot of people think of parsley as just something that is an addition that you don't really even think much about. For me, it's kind of a strong flavor.
And of course, your fans listening right now on their phones are going, wait, Rick is not using cilantro?
Well, you
Why
could
is he
use
using
it.
flat leaf?
Well, I think it's a stronger flavor. I grew up with cilantro, and I love cilantro, but it's, to me, a kind of ordinary flavor. I didn't grow up with flat leaf parsley, which I find to be the pure essence of chlorophyll.
And Chris is working with one of my favorite ingredients, fresh mint.
A little bit,
right?
Yes.
For the same
almond?
exact reason. All mint. Yeah, for the same exact reason that Rick's doing parsley. Some freshness, some brightness. It really will make the cauliflower pop. It'll take away from that roasted flavor. And allow
So not that I'm keeping track here, but just your 5 ingredients were the tropea onions, the mint, the raisins, the sherry vinegar.
And olive oil.
And olive oil.
That's it.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And Rick's about the same, yeah. The peanuts, the parsley, the raisins, and the tequila.
I think I'm liking this dish a lot.
We got just under 3 minutes to go. And it's interesting that your result with this roasted flavor here, I typically would cut up my raw cauliflower, toss it with olive oil, salt, pepper, put it in the oven at 400 degrees. It's still going to take quite a while to roast it and get that same sort of that roasty sweetness, that natural sweetness to come out of it. You've done it in like less than 5 minutes. The microwave helps.
The microwave got me started.
It's a kickstart.
And then I had a nice hot griddle going over here. This is just a grill pan, basically. And I find it makes a big difference. And even in the middle of the winter, where you can easily get good cauliflower, you can do the grilling on a grill pan inside, and you've got something really beautiful. Beautiful
plating here going right across the top, kind of the middle of these 2 cauliflower steaks that are both pretty nicely grilled. And Chris, you've got your steak off of the pan, and you've got your little salad of onions, vinegar.
We've got some fried cauliflower leaves here.
Oh, fried leaves. Okay. And what did you do with those? How did you just put those in the same liquid?
The most tender leaves on the inside of the head, you pull off just into some sunflower oil, vegetable oil, deep frying around 325, and a little salt when they come out, and that's it.
Okay, so we've got about 2 minutes to go. You're close to plating too?
You got oil on over there for deep frying? You got oil on for deep frying over there? Oh. I'm more practical than that.
Yeah. And what do you just blend there?
So these are the florets that I trimmed down. I trimmed all the tops off these. I mixed them with olive oil, some of the tropea onion, and a little bit of water.
Okay.
And it's just to add some richness and some creaminess.
Not to rush you, but you got less than a minute.
It's okay.
So we're ready. It's beautiful. Look at that texture, consistency. It's like a creaminess.
He really went all out. I mean, he's got some really gorgeous stuff going on in that.
I love. It's so funny. Just that plate of the cauliflower and the puree is, but now here comes the mint and the tropea onions and the little raw pieces of cauliflower and the raisins. And then, of course, the sherry vinegar that they've all been sort of steeping in for the last couple of minutes.
So there is vinegar in this hot sauce. If you took these 2 dishes apart and talked about the creation of flavor, you would have almost exactly the same track on it. The only difference is that mine came out with a different end flavor than his did. But we both decided we would go, just sort of knowing cauliflower, we were going to create the flavor in sort of the same way.
Exactly. And look at how he did it with the pretty, with the little fried leaves there.
Beautiful, beautiful.
20 seconds to go. He's just going to get a little taste to make sure it's all right for both of us.
We're done.
Very nice. That's a $12 dish at the Bristol, I bet, isn't it?
It would be.
Oh, yeah, very nice. $12? What are you're underselling this poor guy.
I'm sorry. All right, 15. All right, time is up, gentlemen. Well done. Let's see what we have here in front of us. We're going to take our pictures for Instagram and Facebook and Rick's 4 followers on Twitter. So we got to make sure we have enough pictures here. Moment of truth,
Let's do it.
Let's cut up a little piece. We'll do, we want to do Rick's first?
We'll do Rick's first.
Rick's first, okay.
We'll just start trimming this guy down so we can get into it.
It cuts very easily. Now this would be what, a side dish? This would be in addition to another
I
protein?
say it's the meatless Monday kind of thing, and that's the reason that I did it as a steak, because when you think of it as your main dish, then something that's large and grilled like that will be very satisfying, I think. So this is when you decide you're not going to eat meat.
Sweet and savory.
That's sweet and savory. I love the raisins. There's a little curveball in there with that vinegar from the hot sauce.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's nice.
Delicious.
And the flat leaf parsley is a good call.
Yeah. You don't need cilantro and everything.
Yeah, I know, you're right.
Parsley is too underrated.
It is underrated.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Lydia Bastianich will probably tell you that.
Right?
Yeah. All right, now time for Chris's.
Dig in.
All right.
Please.
I want to make sure I get a little bit of herbs. Oh my. That is delicious. Not that yours wasn't, Rick, but that's really good. And I'm thinking the vinegar is fantastic.
It is. It's amazing.
I like the fresh mint too. The mint really wakes it up.
That's a stunning dish. That's a stunning dish.
Yeah, beautiful dish. Wow, both fantastic options on a meatless Monday or any night, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
15 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Chris Pandell from the Bristol and Belena, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. This has been a pleasure for me.
Okay, so again, if you're listening, all the video on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel, The Feed Podcast. Thanks so much.
Woohoo.